Hello everyone and welcome back into the Below Par YouTube channel today with myself, Joe Stevens. Today I'd like to take you through 5 reasons as to why I think Topgolf is fantastic for golf itself. Just before we get going on the video though guys, I'd like to remind you, please do subscribe to the channel. We've looked through our analytics the last few weeks and there is a large portion of our viewers that haven't yet pressed that subscribe button. So I'll just give you a couple of seconds to go and hit that button right now. Make sure you hit that bell notification icon as well so you don't miss another upload. We've got lots of big plans, like we say in every video, but we truly have got that. To give you a bit of an overview on what Topgolf is like, if you haven't yet been, I liken it to 10-pin bowling. It's very, very inclusive. Everybody can do it. It's very accessible, especially in the United States. In the UK, it's not quite as accessible yet, but I would really like to see Topgolf grow across the UK. It's mainly based down in the south, but like I say, I'd love to see it grow. And that kind of links into reason number 1. I'll put some pictures of Topgolf as we go along to give you an idea if you haven't yet been. So reason number 1 then is simply, it's very, very inclusive. You don't need equipment. It doesn't take a long time. There's no limit to the ability that you need to have playing golf. Clubs are provided for you. Everything is provided for you. It's very, very relaxed and there is no snobbery around going to Topgolf. It is, like I say, very, very similar to going 10-pin bowling. It's a laugh. The more of you that go as a group of friends, the better it is. And this is a gateway into the world of golf. And if you really, really enjoy that, then you could start looking into obviously other forms of golf and joining a golf club, etc., and taking lessons. Linking into this inclusivity though, is that you can hit bad shots and still accumulate points playing Topgolf. So we all know as golfers, golf is a really, really hard game, especially when you're starting out. And in a points-based system like Topgolf has, it can be a bit demoralizing if you're not scoring the big points. Obviously as a beginner you're not expecting to top the leaderboards or go into the leaderboards etc. later on in the video, but you can still accumulate points because it's a hard AstroTurf surface between the targets out on the driving range. So even if you do top it, thin it, you're still more than likely going to roll into a scoring zone and accumulate a score and keep up with your friends who maybe are a little bit more experienced in the golfing world. Reason number 2 then is price. Golf is such an expensive game to get into, and you often feel when you start to play golf you need to buy a few clubs and go to your local club and take part in lessons, which I would always encourage you to do. As a professional myself, having given lessons over the years, it's very, very important to have clubs that you're familiar with and they are not in-depth custom fitted for you, but as long as they're the right length and the right weight, that's a good start for you. Pair that with tuition, you're going to give yourself a fantastic chance of getting into the game maybe a little bit quicker. But with Topgolf, like I said, the inclusivity in point 1, clubs are provided for you. You will be able to continually build up a score. Even if you don't hit the best shot, you will be able to teach yourself some fundamental skills to be able to hit the golf ball. If you're able to, after a few trips to Topgolf, for example, or just your local driving range, but Topgolf specifically for this video, you will be teaching yourself to make contact with the golf ball consistently. And that's a key skill to have. I know that sounds quite obvious, but if we're able to make contact with the golf ball consistently to get the golf ball going forwards, that is a step in the right direction in my eyes. So it's a much, much cheaper way of getting into the game of golf and much more fun as well. And that links me into point number 3, and it is fun. It's competitive. You can take your friends, golfers or non-golfers. You can all go together. There's food and drink services there. There's a really, really nice relaxed atmosphere. You can go in the morning, you can go lunchtime, you can go into the evening, late into the evening, and you can make it competitive with your friends. You don't have to be all that competitive when you're there. It's up to you. It's totally up to you when you arrive, whether you'd like to go for the highest score of the day. You can keep your own personal records as well. I believe there's an app that you can have and see all your scores or over time. So it's a really nice way of tracking progress. It's a brilliant place actually for team building exercises from any walk of life. Point number 4 then, and it is time. Now, There's a really big, well, I was going to say myth, but it's not a myth. Golf does take a lot of time out of your day. If you're playing 18 holes regularly as a club golfer, it does take a lot of time. And if that's you, and that's what you plan to do, that's absolutely fine. I'm not saying that we need to change the game of golf, but to have these options, such as Topgolf, to go out for an hour and a half, to go and have a couple of games of Topgolf, have a laugh, have a bite to eat with your friends, and come back home for whatever reason and crack on with other things that you need to be doing in your life. It's a really nice alternative to have, to be able to pop out, play some golf, learn some new skills along the way. The more golf balls that you hit at the driving range or Topgolf or wherever it is, you will be improving. Obviously, again, I'll link it back to lessons. If you start to enjoy playing Topgolf, having been, let's say, self-taught, which I imagine is the route that a lot of people go down, I would suggest look into lessons down the line to make sure your grip's right, and as you start to develop even more, you can start to think about how far each club goes and how to beat the wind, etc, etc, etc. Golf is a never-ending learning curve. If you haven't guessed already, I'm a big fan of the concept of Topgolf, and I really hope it starts to grow in the UK. So far in the video, we've covered the fact that it's inclusive. We've covered the fact that it's a little bit cheaper. We've covered the fact that it's really fun, and it doesn't take up as much of your day as traditional golf would be. It could encourage you to then start to play club golf and play 18 holes, go out and play 9 holes to start with and build it up to 18 holes. But it's a really good gateway. So those 4 points, I believe, are the main points. But point number 5, I put a big focus on beginner golfers throughout the video. But for point number 5, it's great for regular golfers to go and maybe use it to show off to their mates that they've played golf for years, etc. But that's not really the main point in point number 5. It is the competitive aspect. Okay, it's not going out and shooting a score like you would traditionally on a golf course, but you can go out there, you can start to hit targets. Everything is target orientated. Now, with these targets, the closer your ball lands to the middle of the green, the more points you score. So it really does make you zone in on those scores as a regular golfer. It's teaching you those skills. Okay, the exact yardages might not be quite right because of the microchip golf balls. The golf balls probably don't fly as far as they normally would on a normal golf course with a normal golf ball, but that's not really the point necessarily. You're not there to necessarily work on your yardages, but you can work on your competitive game. It makes you reset, it makes you think about the target you're trying to hit. So I've seen a few articles online talking about Topgolf. Oh, it's not a great place because the golf balls don't fly as far, as golf balls balloon a little bit. Yeah, maybe that might well be the case, but use what you can. If your club face is miles open to the right hand side as a right hander, that golf ball is going to go to the right hand side. So accuracy wise, it's a really big and good way to be competitive with yourself. And like I said in the previous points, beginner golfers can accumulate a score. So you better make sure that you focus that mind, because you don't want to lose to your beginner mates. So that is why I think Topgolf is absolutely fantastic for all abilities and all ages. It's a really good pathway into the game of golf as a beginner, but it also focuses the regular golfer's mind. It doesn't take as long, it's fantastically fun, and once it's all done, head down to the bar, have a bite to eat, and most importantly, have a drink. And talk about whatever you like, but I imagine the conversation will take a path of who scored what in each game and who won, and looking at the leaderboard to see if you've won that particular day, if you've got the highest score on that particular day, whatever it might be. It's a really good fun day out, and I really do recommend. If you've got a Topgolf local to you, I think you should go and visit if you haven't already. Let me know down in the comment section below if you've been to Topgolf, what you think of it, and whether you'd like to go back once this lockdown in the UK has lifted. In America, I'm not sure where they stand with Topgolf being open, etc. with the pandemic currently. Into the future, I'd love to see Topgolf grow, and I'd love to see that continue to be a base of watching the game of golf grow. Guys, if you really like the video, please do drop us a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. I gave you that opportunity earlier on in the video, but if you haven't already done it, please do press that button, and we'll see you in the next video. Hopefully we'll be out on the golf course really soon to give you some tips.